What's going on, Relentless Circle family? Pastor Lacey here, and welcome to another week of Relentless Circle Life Groups. Guys, this is the place where we get to come together on a weekly basis to encourage each other, not just in our faith, but also in our purpose. And isn't it significant enough that this week's discussion, we are going to dive into the understanding and the unpacking of what our purpose is as believers. As believers and followers of Jesus Christ, we have the ultimate example in watching Christ's life, how he lived out his entire life, even up to death. And this week we have the opportunity to really dive deep into what was Jesus's purpose, because at the end of his purpose was you and me. Have you considered the fact that you have a purpose for your life, that it's not just to wake up, have a great day, and go back to sleep, but that God had a specific assignment in mind when he created you, when he spoke you into existence? One of my favorite verses that always brings me encouragement when I'm thinking about my purpose and unclear about what it is 1 Corinthians 2, verse 9. And it says, "But it is written that eye has not seen, nor ear has heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man what the things that God has prepared for those who love him." And if you love Jesus, which I believe you do because you're in this circle group, just stay encouraged that God has a purpose and a plan for your life that's bigger than what you can see. Now, one of the things that we're going to cover and that we talked about this Sunday in our sermon is that Jesus had an assignment. Are you living with your assignment in mind? You might not understand what the intricacies of your purpose are, but we all have an assignment and we all have a call to live lives that glorify God. Secondly, the thing that Jesus could not do, he could not die until he forgave his enemies. Man, that's a hard one, because there are so many things that the enemy would like to throw against us to bring offense and to cause disunity in the body of Christ. But if we are really going to fulfill our purposes and walk out our assignments, we have to release those things back to Christ. And if Christ forgave, we can forgive too. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, Jesus' ultimate death did not just end there. Because of his yes, you and I and countless others were free from the law of sin and death, from the 613 laws that are outlined in the Old Testament. And because of that, the world was impacted. Imagine what impact your life could have when you deny yourself, when you pick up your cross and say yes to the plans and the purposes that God has for you. I believe that at the end of our obedience is a miracle. Someone's life can be impacted. Our obedience can be the thing that shifts our family, that brings our family to the knowledge of Christ, that unlocks purpose in someone else's life, and that brings hope and purpose for someone that we interact with on a daily basis. It's not just about us, guys. We have to live being assignment oriented. We have to understand that it's not about us. It's all about Jesus, and it's all about getting his glory, bringing his glory here on earth. Again, just like the circle groups have a purpose, you have a purpose. So be encouraged as you discuss, as you get honest about the dreams and maybe things that you've put on the back burner that you feel that God is awakening yet again. Know that there is a purpose for all of those things that God has placed in your heart. And eye has not seen, nor has ear heard. So just be encouraged that the best is yet to come. I believe that this is going to be an amazing discussion. So be excited, be expectant, and be purposeful for those things that God brings back to your remembrance, to go and activate them. Act on those things this week. Have a wonderful discussion, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.